Yo, what's your boy Ron Flip the Gym? Man. And I'm back with another Jumpman reaction video to the movie MARTY SUPREME. Let's get into it. Yeah, so this MARTY SUPREME movie, it's not literally a biopic of a real person's life, but it's loosely inspired by a real tennis legend story, you know what I'm saying? The main character, Marty Mauser, played by Timothée Chalamet, you know, he take cues from real-life table tennis champion called Marty Razaman. So if you're a tennis player, then, a ping pong, then you would know, you know what I'm saying? So this flamboyant, hustling ping pong stars in this 1950s era in New York. The film borrows bits of Razaman's life and personality, you know what I'm saying? His Lower East Side roots, his gritty rise in the sport, and his hustle mentality. But then it's mixed in with a lot of tons of dramatic fiction, exaggeration, and fictional plot lines, and make a wild cinematic story rather than a strict retelling of real events. You know what I'm saying? So the movie's main character, Marty Mauser, you know what I'm saying, isn't a real historic person. Like I said, he's fictional. Because I thought the movie was documentary. I thought it was a documentary of somebody's real life. But his story and his personalities are strongly inspired by a real legend named Marty Razaman, like I said. He's a famous American table tennis ping pong champion. And he was a hustler from the mid-20th century of New York. You know what I'm saying? Just like how they, you know, had this whole scripted out and acted out and filmed out in this movie. You know what I'm saying? So what's based on reality? A lot of the flavor and vibe in the movie comes from Razaman's actual life. So this is how they was able to create some of this movie. Like, why they just ain't make a documentary of the real guy, Marty Razaman? You know what I'm saying? So Razaman was a colorful, flamboyant athlete known for hustling games, wearing bold hats like Marty Mauser in the movie, and flashy outfits like Marty Mauser in the movie, and playing high stakes matches in New York like Marty Mauser in the movie, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, in the New York clubs and stuff like that. So he started playing young, hustled for money, and won dozens of major titles in the table of tennis over decades. You know what I'm saying? He was a hustler. You seen it in the movie. He was a hustler, you know what I'm saying? He was a hustler, you know what I'm saying? So he was a big personality, you know what I'm saying? Famed for trick shots, showmanship, and even performing with groups like the Harlem Globetrotters early in his career. Same as Marty Mauser, you know what I'm saying, in the movie. Why they just ain't do a documentary of Marty Razaman, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, Razaman, he wrote a memoir, The Money Player, in 1974. That partially inspired the film's tone and some character traits. Might well say it inspired the whole goddamn movie. So, what's fiction in this movie? What is fiction? So, the movie doesn't follow Razaman's life beat by beat. Marty Razaman, you know what I'm saying, specific plotline, love, and interest in dramatic arts are mostly fictional. You know, major scenes like the heist elements, certain relationships, and alternate history twists are creative embellishment to make it a more dramatic story. You know what I'm saying? It's less of a strict biopic and more of an inspired by a story that uses bits of Razaman's life, and then it builds a stylish narrative around it. They should have just said this movie was about Marty Razaman, you know what I'm saying? So, bottom line, MARTY SUPREME has deep roots in real table tennis history. Okay, we can see that, you know what I'm saying? You go watch the movie, you can see that. and channels the spirits and swagger of the real Marty Rasman. I hope they cut this man a check. But it's not a literal true story movie. It's fictionalized. It's dramatic tales built on top of that foundation. You know what I'm saying? So real life roots, actual Marty Rasman. Here are some real life roots of Marty Rasman. The inspiration, the main dude, Marty Mauser, you know what I'm saying? Played by Timothée Chalamet. You know what I'm saying? It's loosely based on real table tennis legendary, once again, Marty Rasman. You know what I'm saying? A flamboyant, hustling champion from the 1950s in New York. You know what I'm saying? So, in this movie, you know what I'm saying, the vibe and the personality comes from Rasman. You know what he was known for? He was known for his wild showmanship, his flashy outfits, and his hats and stuff to go with it. His hustle mentality. You know what I'm saying? Someone who wanted money and attention at every turn. Same thing like Marty Mauser in the movie. But he had legendary skill table tennis with lightning speed and trick shots. Same as Marty Mauser in the movie. So growing up in NYC and in the club scene, you know what I'm saying, both the film and reality show Marty coming up in the Lower East Side. You know what I'm saying? That got to be like Harlem or something. That's like Harlem, Lower East Side, Manhattan, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But in the ping pong circuit in NYC club culture. So his legendary wins in real life, Rasman won many major titles over the decades, like 22 total, including U.S. Opens and international wins. You know what I'm saying? So the real Marty been doing this thing. So big fiction. So what was the movie made up of? Shit, a lot of shit. It was made up of a lot of shit of Marty Rasman, but Marty Mauser, in actuality, in real life, was Marty Rasman. The film, so this film changes the character's name, and Marty Mauser exact life story isn't Rasman's though, true biography. Why wouldn't they just make a biography of Marty Rasman though? That's what it seemed like. I'm watching this whole movie, I'm thinking it's a true documentary. But this movie had many dramatic scenarios, you know what I'm saying, but it wasn't historical. The plots beats like crazy business deals, wild conspiracy style stories, arcs over the top, personal drama, like the intense mutilating scenes and spankings discussed in the press articles, you know what I'm saying, that are not documented in history. Those are just cinematic fabrications that are made up in this movie. But so the tournament journeys and outcomes of the Pacific matches, rivals and contests in the movie are fictional setups, but it's meant to build tension that they mapped out exactly to real tournaments in Rasman's life, Marty Rasman's life, not Marty Mauser's. So the relationships and dramatic characters arc, love interests, betrayals, and emotion arcs are crafted for the film's narrative. So this was crafted for the film's narrative. They are storytelling, not historical records. It's a difference. So an accurate inspirations was real. The style was real. The swagger was real. The hustle mentality, the hero, the NYC ping pong underground vibe on some of the scenes and characters beats that feel like Marty Razman was real, which his personality was real, but it was creative for the movie, for dramatization, you know what I'm saying, which was made fiction. So the exact life events and specific plot twists invented rivalry scenes and dramatic sequences. So the movie arc is designed for storytelling, but not a full documentary. They should have just made it a full documentary. I ain't gonna just keep on saying that. Shit, just keep on saying that. So bottom line in plain talk, let's get to the bottom line. Marty Supreme movie is loosely inspired by the real Marty Razman. It's not a precise true story biopic or like a real documentary, but it got lots of dramatic flavor was added to build tension, character growth, and wild storytelling in this movie though. They did a good job by taking somebody else's character style and how he played and how he dressed, and then just made a whole nother movie on it, and then just don't give that person a real documentary. But the movie whole roller coaster ego hustles and chaos. There's a lot of hustle and chaos in this movie. It's a lot of hustle and chaos in this movie. You know what I'm saying? So that world that he had a wild personality in this film, and literally true to life portraits of a real life person. The character is fictionalized and heavily dramatized for storytelling. But this movie pulls a lot of inspiration from the vibe and lifestyle of real ping pong hustler Marty Razman. But in the movie, dude had traits like being a narcissist, a con artist, a liar, a thief, that a hustler. He was an extreme hustler though. He was an extreme hustler in this though. You know what I'm saying? And you know, it's just amplified for cinematic effect, but not documented effect though. You know what I'm saying? So Hollywood would say, let's take a real underground table tennis culture and then crank that drama to 200% and make Marty Supreme. So was it realist? The hustle culture, the showmanship, the New York grit, swagger, underground games? Or was it pure storytelling? The extreme of it? Personality, swings, the scams, the wild toxic, the relationships, the dynamics, the heist, the style of the dramas, all that. All wrapped up in one. All up in this movie, Marty Supreme. So, overall, this movie is like 2.5 hours plus previews. It gives a full sprint marathon of chaos, but it definitely keeps your brain locked in. So it's worth 2.5 hours to go see. If you ain't got nothing else going on, go check it out. And I'm going to get this jump 5 popcorns. Peace. I'm out. Wild jump, man.